Hey guys, Sean here, and welcome to the F1 Word, powered by planetf1.com. Now on Tuesday night, we got our first look at all of the 2025 liveries, which were revealed at the F1 75 live event at the O2 Arena, an event which, to be fair, was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but once every 75 years is fine by me as well. However, as well as liveries, there were a few surprises as well, including from Ferrari, who actually gave us a sneak peek at their machine ahead of the official shakedown at Fiorano that was scheduled for Wednesday. And ignoring the obvious and expected change to the livery, there's a whole host of revisions that have been made to this year's car, with plenty more to be revealed in the coming weeks as we get to testing the first race and as the development cycle really kicks into overdrive. So let's have a look at some of those changes, but before we get to that, I want to say a massive thank you to Matt Summerfield for helping write this video for me and lending his expertise. As long-time viewers will know, tech isn't usually my forte, but anyway, let's jump into it. Now first up, the worst kept secret is now officially out of the bag. It has been common knowledge that Ferrari planned on making the switch to pull rod front suspension this season for several months now, with the adoption of a pull rod front suspension layout seeing the Scuderia follow in the footsteps of their rivals Red Bull and McLaren, who of course already adopted the arrangement at the beginning of this regulatory cycle. It is obviously a decision that will clearly have some mechanical ramifications, with the steering assembly also reorganised to facilitate its application, but the primary reason behind this sort of decision is usually led by the performance that can be unlocked from an aerodynamic perspective. In making the switch to a pull rod layout, the designers have also busied themselves with optimising all of the front suspension's fairings in order to maximise how the airflow behaves on its way to the side pods and floor downstream. There are actually a number of changes in those areas too, with a serrated transition at the rear of the outboard floor fence, but it seems the team are returning to an inboard floor fence design that sits above the tide line created by the leading edge of the floor. The latter of these two is a design that had featured on the F1 75 but was abandoned during the car's development phase, as a low-level fence once again took its place. However, as we saw in the latter phase of 2024, the Scuderia has begun to backtrack, with the refurbishments made to their wind tunnel allowing their designers to revisit certain ideas, concepts and updates that hadn't necessarily delivered the performance jump their simulation tools had initially predicted when the parts arrived at the circuit. The SF25 side pods have also been refined, with the overbite style inlet fully incorporated into this year's Challenger. As you might remember, last year's car started the season with an underbite arrangement which was modified at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix to follow the trend set out by their rivals. This revised layout also saw the previously separated vertical and horizontal inlets combined to form the widely adopted P-shaped arrangement, of which the SF25 also utilises. But there's now a much narrower upper opening that's similar to the layout used by McLaren, which also includes the introduction of a mid-wing. A huge amount of work will have inevitably been carried out beneath the bodywork in order to reorganise the various radiators and power unit ancillaries and optimise them around this layout. This mid-wing also features a wingtip end plate that is taller at the leading edge and slopes down and inward in order to meet with the side pod bodywork thereafter. Above this, there is further alteration too, this time to the mirror housing and stalks. The mirror assembly now has a horizontal slat that runs the full width of the side pod and under the mirror body, rather than simply joining to the side of it like on the SF24. The horizontal slat is also twisted across its span in order that the airflow behaves differently in the free stream between the two vertical stays and where it combines with the mirror body. A vertical baffle has also been added alongside the inboard wall of the mirror body, once again as a means to alter how the airflow behaves around the bluff body and improve efficiency not only locally but offer aerodynamic support to its surroundings, such as the inlet and upper surface of the side pod. On that note, the side pod's upper bodywork has been carefully optimised around the forward shoulder in order to create a ridgeline along the perimeter of the side pod, further enhancing the slide formed into the downsloping portion of the bodywork. The Cobra winglets that flank the halo have also returned, although they now have a spar that connects them to the side of the cockpit, whilst the shallow curved winglets mounted atop the halo that Ferrari have used in the past have also resurfaced. The engine cover design has been overhauled too, with no shark fin present on its spine, replaced instead by a series of louvered openings similar to the ones first seen on the Alpine A523 and as have been used by Haas. The crushed style bodywork at the rear of the engine cover that exposes the outlets ahead of it has been carried over from last year and offers a channel for the rejected heat to travel to the trailing edge of the main cooling exit at the rear of the engine cover. The floor edge detailing shown in the renders is similar to the layout used towards the end of last season, by the way, but it is possible this changes during pre-season testing as the team begin to look for areas to develop and fine performance. Now feels like a good stage to point out that what we see in the renders and what we see in the shakedowns might not necessarily be what we see in Bahrain in testing and in Australia for the first race. Just bear that in mind. And the rear wing shown is also a new specification with a deeper central section present on the main plane that is reflected in the contouring on the upper surface around the central mounting pillar and DRS actuator pod. The overall design of the wing is similar to the one introduced by McLaren in Brazil last season. However, the tip section is a return to a previous design layout whereby it is folded down over the main plane portion of the end plate, which allows for an enlarged cutout thereafter. The beam wing specification shown is similar to their medium downforce offering of last season, whilst the small winglets mounted either side of the rear wing pillar have also returned. That is all for the technical changes, but super quickly when it comes to the livery, and this is pretty much all me, it is a really gorgeous shade of red, and from some angles it looks stunning. However, what they were thinking with that white stripe across the engine cover, I will never know. Absolutely hate it. And whilst it's great to see a team have lots of sponsors on the car, the sooner that HP logo goes, the better. Although Matt did make a quick edit and filled it in with some yellow, which I think is so much better, although just red would have been absolutely fine by me as well. Not that it really matters because, in my opinion anyway, the Racing Bulls livery is the best of the bunch. But anyway, that is it for this one then, but let us know down in the comments what you make of the SF25 and also which 2025 livery is your favourite right now. Once again, a massive thank you to Matt for helping with this video, and for more of his technical insights as well as the latest news and reaction from the world of Formula One, head on over to planetf1.com. Now Elizabeth will be with you this weekend for a look back at how David Team introduced over-the-top car launches and ramped up the glamour in F1. It's actually been a fun topic to learn about, so thank you to Elizabeth for that one. And next week it is that time of year again. Yes, testing live streams return. I will be live on Wednesday, February 26th from 7 AM GMT, oh good god, until just after 4 PM with live timing updates from Bahrain and chat. Lots and lots of chat. And of course, that will be the same on Thursday and Friday too. As is always the case, I'm very much looking forward to them. They're always good fun, but I will need your questions. So in the community section here on YouTube, I'll put up a post where you can ask anything you like and we'll answer as many as we can next week, as well as taking questions from the chat too, of course. And if you're joining us for the streams, then I will see you there, and bring coffee. Lots and lots of coffee, please. In the meantime, though, if you did enjoy this one, then please do leave a like, as it really does help the channel in its fight with the YouTube algorithm, and consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos or streams. Lots to come in 2025, that's for sure. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.